problem at the office. And you think that just because I ate your sandwich, you can fire me? John looked down at his pink slip and sobbed. Well, I am your boss, so I can technically do anything I want to. Max smiled and placed his apple on the table. John looked at Max's apple and ferociously smacked it off. My daily apple! You know that an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Max sat down and signed the pink slip. So now, get out of my office. John looked back at Max. No. What? You realize that I am the boss around here, so you must listen to me, Max snarled. John stood up and picked up the slip. He held it right in front of Max's face and tore a clean line right down the middle. He threw it into the trash and began walking towards the door. John, you get back here this instant. Max jumped up and began running after John. John looked back and saw Max. You will never catch me. 4 prongs shot into John's back as he collapsed to the floor. 2 men stepped out of the shade that was looming on either side of the door. Each of them wearing a blue shirt and holding a single taser. 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 5 seconds later. John woke up. Was it really necessary to tase me? He screamed, waving his fists at his boss. Max looked down at him. Oh, you're up. Max looked down at the table with the many other people in the room. He's up, guys. Max smiled his freaky ear-to-ear grin and looked back down at John. John stood up and sat down in the chair closest to him, which happened to be the one at the head of the table. Crap. Bob, head of the board, was looking just the same as always, just a face carved in a board. You fired me. If Max fired you, then you must comply with it. Do you know why he was going to fire me? John looked at the ceiling and puffed out his chest. The police reached for their tasers, but Bob shook himself to indicate not to. Yes, you stole $100 worth of condiments from Max. Bob, it wasn't $100 of condiments. It was his daily sandwich. John whined. What? Did you just call me Bob? Bob the board looked at John. I don't think so. That just reinforces your pink slip. Oh, that disrespect is why I had him tased in the first place, Max added. He ripped the slip in half and threw it in the garbage. John, now recovered from his taser burns, got up and sucker punched Max in the face. Max stumbled back in his chair. Ah, arrest him, Max called, his nose bleeding. The police stood up from the chairs and took a step towards John. Wait, Bob held out his hand. Max, you said that you were the best at fighting in the whole office. You know, during your interview, Bob said. And you actually believed me? I just said all those things so I could get hired. Max began to cry. John readied his fist again. No! Max held his arms out in front of him, shielding his face. John slammed his fist into Max's arms. A bone cracked, and he fell to the floor sobbing. The police pulled out their tasers and fired them at John's back. He jumped and dodged them. Both of the taser prongs entered poor Max's back instead, and he howled in pain. Someone get him, Bob called. John looked at Bob and jumped out of the window. No! Bob looked shocked. Then he saw the impossible. John had sprouted wings and was flying away from the building. John looked back, now aware that he was flying. He smiled and flew higher and higher, glowing in the sun. The police looked out of the window and watched as he flew higher. This is going to end out like Icarus, isn't it? One of them said, shaking his head. Yeah, the other one said that. John looked down and did a nosedive, attempting to show off. He pulled up, flying at speeds of about 150 miles per hour. He did backflips and many more things. But just as he was preparing to stop and perch on the roof, a helicopter flew right into him. There was a splat.